Next up at UFC Vegas 86, we have a short notice. Fernie Garcia taking on Hyder Amil. Fernie Garcia 10-4 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding a 3-fight skid. He's taking on undefeated Hyder Amil, who is making his official UFC debut. I mentioned Fernie Garcia stepping up on short notice, and it's probably to save his UFC career at this point because he is on that 3-fight skid, but he's a pretty well-rounded guy. He's got a wrestling background. When he fights, he is primarily a striker, though. His striking style is forward pressure and counter-striking, so he's always moving forward, but if you throw in his direction, he'll take a couple steps off and then fire away. Typically, if he's on the wrong side of some striking, he will drop down and he will grapple as well, but he is coming off his third loss in a row. The most recent one was to Rinya Nakamura, where he just had no answer for the wrestling. He's taking on UFC newcomer Hyder Amil. This guy's an aggressive striker. He's going to walk through fire to find that pocket. He's got a solid chin, good power, and he sets a really nice pace early. Not a great wrestler, but he will work fights to the ground, and when he gets that opportunity, he's going to pound away. On the ground, he's going to throw heavy. He will give up positions, though, and he will end up in trouble. He is making his UFC debut. He did have a successful fight on the Contender Series this past summer. I mentioned Fernie stepping up on short notice. The odds are interesting. I knew he'd be a dog, but pretty big dog, and I get it. You look at his recent record, it's not great. Hyder is undefeated, a handful of finishes. Fernie is just on this unfortunate skid, but I think you have to look at that skid a little closer. He's losing the grapplers. He's losing the people that can take him down, control him. And outside of the Rinya Nakamura fight, he has had some success in each one of those losses. I just don't know how good Hyder is yet, but we do know that he ends up in bad positions on the ground. He's willing to get hit on the feet to try to find that pocket to slug it out. I also know that he gave up 5 takedowns on his Contender Series win and still managed to squeak that win out. So I got to go with Hyder here. I think even if Fernie has some success with the wrestling, we have already seen Hyder get taken down and then work his way back up and squeak out a decision. So I'm going to go Hyder here, but I can't spend my money on a minus 255 or minus 190 guy that is relatively unproven. And yeah, Fernie's on this skid, but the dude's tough. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I think Fernie's a better fighter. I think straight up and down, Fernie is the better fighter. He's a dangerous guy. He can do stuff on the ground as well. The issue with Fernie, and I love Fernie. I mean, he's a former Lock of the Week, and he's the only person that's ever apologized to me for losing Lock of the Week. I've never seen that before in my life. Because it was. I think I tweeted my reaction because it was against. I think it was that Brady fight where he almost had that crazy submission early, and I was like, "Oh my God, he almost did it!" And he literally tweeted me. He's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about that." I'm like, "Dude, it's not that serious, dude. It's all good." I felt bad for him. He seems like a great kid. I think he's a better fighter here. The issue is, for whatever reason, Fernie, when he fights, I don't know if it's lack of confidence or lack of. I don't want to say lack of effort because you never really see him. Lack of effort means he would be getting finished and stuff, and you see him keep working, right? He doesn't get finished very often. I don't know how many times he's been finished, but I don't think in his losses, I think about all decision losses, but it just seems like a lack of confidence in there. And I think if he came in confident, short notice, up in weight, I'm just going to go out there and lay it out on the line, I think he can beat a guy like Hyder. Hyder, I don't think is a technical guy, but I think he is a grinder. And in this type of fight, I think from what I've seen from Fernie in the past, he can out-grind Fernie to get that win. So I'm going to go Hyder here, but I'm going to be rooting for Fernie. I like Fernie. I think he can come in here and definitely shock the world. He's definitely got all the abilities in the world, but he just hadn't seemed to put it together. Maybe short notice, there's less time to think about it, and he can just come in there and just have fun and react and find a upset win. So I'm going Hyder here, but I'll definitely root for Fernie.
Yeah, and Fernie is better than that 3-fight skid for sure. He had a lot of success, almost won that first loss in that 3-fight skid. And the most recent one, the Rinya one, Rinya's good, very, very good. And at a certain point, you're going to hit a buzzsaw that's going to out-wrestle you or outstrike you or whatever it is. And that's just how that fight went. So I'm with you. I am going to be on the Hyder side as you are, but I think the odds are way too wide. So normally I would be like, all right, let me just parlay 2 of these risky guys together. I just did it with Thomas Fat Shit Peterson and who was the other half of that? Oh, Markel.
I think I'm 6-1 on parlays this year.
Yeah, my safety parlay is undefeated on the year, but
I don't even know how do you access that?
Well, you could just go to wewantpicks.com, and if you click become a member at the top, it's going to say, hey, can I get $10? You give them $10, boom. You're good. You unlock it. Not even just safe parlay, everything. It's actually pretty incredible how websites work. But I normally this would be the type of fight where I'm like, let me put him. All right, a risky favorite newcomer that I think wins. Let me put him with another one. And this card is loaded with him, but Hyder's not going to be that guy. He probably wins this fight.
But questioning his cardio too. But I watched that fight where he just it's nonstop wrestling. He lost positions and stuff, but he was dogging out positions in that fight.
Who, Fernie?
No, Hyder.
Oh, Hyder. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't mention his cardio. I don't know why people would question it. Dude, the dude got taken down. The dude got taken down 5 times and still pulled off a win without a knockdown. It's not like he blasted the dude. Not like he just worked his ass off and got that win out. So become a premium member based off the instructions we provided earlier, and you can unlock everything that you need for this fight, especially when these DraftKings numbers drop. As I mentioned, short notice, no numbers here. When these numbers drop, we're going to give you a full DraftKings slate. Walk you through who should be in your lineup depending on the lineup type. Walk you through at what salary does somebody make sense. Walk you through who you should fade, who you should have. All of that and so much more. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. How much is a lifetime membership? Well, Dr. Y just got it for about $1,000. Yeah.
Suck on these balls.
$250 is a little over 2 years. We do a 1-year membership at $100. So $250 is not going to get you lifetime, pal. Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.